Cleveland Lighthouse Sunday School. Boy, today we're going to have such a super duper fun time. Today's awesome. We're back in the fellowship hall. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Man, we're going to have a great time worshiping God, singing songs. We're going to learn all about, what are we going to learn about? You know what? That wasn't my job. What are we learning about today? You know what? I'm not supposed to be up here by myself. I'm supposed to have my brother Larry here to help me with this part, but he's not here, and that's very frustrating, but that's not your fault. So guys, hey, Brother Larry, you're here. Guys, I'm sorry. He's here. He always shows up. This guy's an ultra reliable guy.
I might be late, but I'm always on time. Isn't that good?
I don't need.
Hey. Well, you said we were having Sunday school in the fellowship hall again, but
yeah.
What did we study last week?
We studied about how people that are late have no friends. That's what we talked about.
We did study about friendship.
Yeah, just kidding, guys. If you still have friends when you're late.
Yep.
But yeah, that's right. We learned about how David and Jonathan shot arrows at each other. Wait, no.
I think you need to go back and study that again, because I don't think.
No, but they were good friends, right?
They were good friends,
and they missed on purpose.
They did.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. Friends miss each other with arrows on purpose.
If you're shooting at your friend with an arrow, you better
don't shoot at friends with an arrow. That's a joke.
And don't shoot at your friends with an arrow.
Guys, that's not the point of the Bible story.
That's not how you make friends.
No. A friend shows himself friendly, and I learned something really important.
Tell me.
That we have the best friend in the whole world, even when you don't feel like you have a friend. Really? Even when you feel lonely. Even when you feel sad, even when your friend is shooting arrows at you. And that best friend in the whole world is Jesus. The Bible says he's a friend that sticks closer than a brother. Oh, that's my brother, by the way. Brother Larry, by the way, that's a nice hat you have.
Thank you.
Man, that's got like every color in the world on it. It's got yellow and that's nice.
I call it my hat of many colors.
Ooh, man, I wish I had a hat like that.
Yeah, you know what? When Dad gave it to me last night,
I
was so excited.
Hold on. Who? What?
Yeah, Dad. He said he saw this hat in the shop. He just thought of me. He bought it for me. Brought it home to me. It was so cool. Isn't that
I'm
nice
happy for you.
Yeah, I know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and like when he gave me that car last week, it was so cool. I've always wanted the Mustang convertible.
Dad gave you a car?
Well, yeah.
And a hat.
Yeah. And then what he said was, hey, that hat's going to go so nice with the suit I'm buying you next week.
What?
And when I think of it all together, you're going to look so sharp.
Brother Larry, you're telling me that Dad bought you a multicolored hat, Technicolor you might call it, a new car, and he's going to buy you a new suit?
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Because he didn't buy me nothing. All I got is this black hat, and it's boring, and you gotta...
Hey, real quick.
What?
Let me tell you about a dream I had.
Okay, I hope it makes me feel better.
It is. It's an awesome dream. You're going to love it.
Oh!
Last night I was laying in bed.
Hold on. Dad bought me a new car.
It's close.
Full of suits.
Close.
And hats.
So this is what happened. I fell asleep, and when I came in the dream, I was driving this beautiful stretch limousine, and it had a hot tub in the back, and
it had my name on the side.
I was sitting back there, and I pulled back in front of the house, and you and the brothers, the cousins, everybody came out, and they said, "Is this your car?"
And you said,
I said,
"Yes,
Philip.
Yes,
it is. This is my car." And you guys were like, "That is so cool." And in fact, Larry, you are so cool. We're so honored to have you as our brother. And it just felt so good. I felt like they just finally were appreciating me the way they were supposed to.
I don't like this dream. You're telling me that you pull up in a fancy car and everybody just kind of like got on their knees and like bowed down before the car?
It's a joke. It's a Bible story. I bought this hat.
I've never heard the Bible story about the stretch limo.
Well, okay. If there's a guy that had dreams, a guy that got gifts, everybody was jealous of him. But God finished the story in a way nobody thought it would.
Who's this story about?
Joseph. And you'll learn a lot more about him later.
Okay. So did Dad really buy you that hat?
He didn't buy me a hat.
He didn't?
Or a car.
I'm sorry. I wish he had. That would have been good for you. All right, Brother Larry, I'm gonna go try to find a hat like that.
All right, guys, we're so excited to be with you this week. We've got the next group coming on. Love y'all. You too, with a bag of chips.
Hi, everybody. Hi, welcome. You know, I remember last week we talked about friends, and today I'm a little sad. My best friend is not here. Hi, Sister Liz. We miss you. I know there's something I'm up here for, though. What is... Oh. Thank you, Brother Greg. It's just a bunch of stuff. A number 1, what could that mean? Rules. Rule number 1. Does anybody out there know what rule number 1 is? I think I heard you. Rule number 1, this is not a show. Not a show at all. No, you are here to learn and to participate. Participate. That reminds me of something else. I think that's rule number 2. Rule number 2, participate. When we sing, you sing. If we clap, you clap. If we get excited, you get excited. Now, rule number 3. Does anybody out there remember rule number 3? Rule number 3. When we pray, you pray. Make sure you pay attention at the end. We're going to give you an opportunity to make sure that you get time with God. So just pay attention. Now, guys, what else? A balloon? What could a balloon mean? Check out these glasses. Oh, man. I feel like Brother Philip. You know, he has those really big, bright yellow glasses. Oh, man, those get attention, don't they? Let's see. What else is in here? This is a blank piece of paper. What? Turn it around. Oh, shout out. We have some very special people that have been watching. We want to let you know how much we love you. Allah and Noah. Hi, everybody. Now, something special about Allah. On August 26th, does anybody know? I bet you can guess Allah and Noah. It's her 9th birthday. Hi, Allah. Congratulations. You're turning 9. That is so awesome. Now, what else do we have in here? Look at little airplane. Looks like there's like cool stuff in here. I have a list. Birthdays. There's more birthdays, everybody. Look, we have Lisa. We have Kamila. Sammy Blair. He's from right here in Rialto. We have Benji, Samuel, and then once again, Ella. You know who else's birthday? My daughter. My daughter, Aubrey, just turned 4. Happy birthday, Aubrey. Now, everybody, I think I have a birthday party to go to. See you guys later.
It's my favorite time. Well, one of my favorite times. I need everybody to get up off your couch. I need some help, guys. Come on. It's song time. Woo! And today's song is new to a lot of our kids here at ILC, maybe not to everybody out there, but this song fits the story of what we're talking about, Joseph's life. Everything that Joseph went through in life, there was somebody that was always with him. And he turned the situation to great things, and that is God. God was watching everywhere Joseph went, and that's what we're singing about today. So get up. Let's sing together.
When you're jumping up and down, when you're spinning round and round, God's seeing everything you do, 'cause he's watching over you. God is watching over you, 24/7 watching over you. Your life is in his hands, whoa. He's got great big plans, 'cause he's watching over you. When you're waving your hands up in the air, when you're shouting, no matter when or where, God's seeing everything you do, 'cause he's watching over you. God is watching over you, 24/7 watching over you. Your life is in his hands, whoa. He's got great big plans, 'cause he's watching over you. great big plans, 'cause he's watching over you.
Woo! Thank you, Jesus, for watching over us.
Ah, man, business is slow in this here barber shop. Wish I could get a customer.
Did you say you need a customer?
Hey,
How you doing?
come on. We're 100%
COVID free.
no, not free. We don't do free around here. But
How much
I'll
do you
make
charge
you a
for
deal.
COVID?
Oh, COVID's free. Yep.
Okay. You get COVID free while you give a haircut.
Hey,
All right,
hey,
that's good.
I'm so excited. I haven't had a customer in 6 months.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess you ain't.
Comfortable?
No, you might want to loosen it up a little bit.
Okay.
Mind if I read a little bit while I
Yeah,
get
no,
my haircut?
It's all good.
I got. Hey, easy
How
there.
how do you like it? Getting a little thin up there, Pard.
Ain't funny. You know what? If I just had a pretty hat like the one you had, I could cover it all up. Hey, did you hear about that terrible misfortune I had the other day?
No, tell me about it.
Well, I was walking down the street, and this lady in a Mustang, she was flying down the street, and she hit me with that there Mustang. I tell you
Oh.
what, ran it right into me.
Oh, that's bad.
No, actually, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
How come?
Well, the insurance money came through. Paid me a lot of money, more money than I've made in a year.
Oh, that's good.
Well, actually, that's bad.
How come?
Well, the IRS heard about it, and the IRS swooped in like a pack of ravens and swooped down and took more than half of it.
Oh, man, that's bad.
Well, no, it's actually good.
How come?
Well, it's good because I still had enough to buy me an airplane.
Oh, that's good.
No, that's bad.
How come?
Well, I was flying that airplane the other day, and I was doing some tricks with it. I flew upside down, and I fell smack out of that airplane.
Oh, that's bad.
No, that's good.
How come?
Well, as I was flying out, I was falling, I looked down, and there's a big old haystack under me.
Oh, that's good.
No, that's bad.
How come?
Well, out of that haystack, there was a pitchfork, and it was sticking pointed right at me.
Oh, that's bad.
No, that's good.
Oh, how come?
Well, I missed the pitchfork.
Oh, that's good.
No, that's bad.
How come?
I missed the haystack too.
Oh, that's bad.
No, actually, that's good.
How come?
Well, there was a farmer there, and as I was bouncing around, he saw the whole thing, picked me up, and he took care of me.
Oh, that's good.
Well, actually, it's not good.
Oh, how come?
The way he took care of me is he had to take me in an ambulance to the hospital.
Woo, okay, that's not good. That's bad.
Yeah, that's right. No, it is good. You see, the hospital I went to had the best doctor in the whole country.
Oh, good. That's good.
No, that's bad.
How come?
He was a good doctor with a horrible nurse.
Okay.
She marked the wrong leg. Instead of making my bad leg good, they made my good leg bad.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh, no, that ain't bad.
No?
That's awful. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you know what? That reminds me of a story.
Yeah?
Story in the Bible.
Okay.
About
okay.
a man named Joseph. That's right. He was the son of Jacob. He had 11 brothers. And you know what? He was the favorite son of Jacob.
Yeah, that's good.
No, that's bad.
Oh, how come?
Because he was dumb and he started bragging about it.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah. Started bragging about it. And his brothers, they hated him for it. In fact, they grabbed him and threw him in a pit.
Oh.
You ever been in a pit before?
That's bad.
Yeah, they sold him as a slave.
Oh, no, that's bad.
No, actually, that's good.
How's that good?
Well, before they could sell him as a slave, someone else came and stole him out of that pit.
Ooh, that's good.
Actually, it's not, because they sold him as a slave.
That's
Took him to
bad.
Egypt. That's right. Sold him to a man named Potiphar.
Oh, okay, that's bad.
Yeah, no, it's actually good. You see, when he was in Potiphar's house, he did such a good job that he worked his way up through the ranks, and pretty soon he was running the whole house of Potiphar.
Oh, okay, so that's good. That's good.
No, that's bad.
How come?
Well, he got the attention of Potiphar's wife, and she was not a good lady. And she got him in so much trouble that they took him and threw him in prison.
Oh, no, that's bad.
Well, actually, that's good.
How come?
You won't believe this, but that's where God wanted him to be. Because while he was there, he grew to become the head of the whole prison. They gave him cellmates who were the butler and the cook of Pharaoh himself. And they had some dreams, and they told Joseph all about them.
Wow, that's good.
Actually, that's bad.
How come?
Well, he told one of them they were going to die.
Oh.
And the other guy, he said, don't forget about me.
Yeah.
And well, one died and the other one forgot about him.
Oh, that's bad.
Actually, that's good.
How is that good?
Well, the butler forgot about Joseph at that time, but later on, when the important time came, Potiphar had another dream. Not Potiphar, but Pharaoh. He had a dream,
Pharaoh, yeah.
and he asked the butler about it, and he He remembered him in prison. That's right, he remembered him. And while he was there in prison, let me tell you, all of a sudden, he was pulled out to tell the dream of Potiphar. Not Potiphar, that man keeps sneaking into my story. He's out and dead.
Yeah.
Pharaoh. Anyway, he told Pharaoh the meaning of his dream. And Pharaoh promoted Joseph to the head of the whole place. Wow. Pretty soon, his brothers, and they came all the way down from Israel. Okay. You know why?
No.
Because there was a famine.
That's bad.
Joseph knew all about it, though, and he talked to Potiphar, and they prepared for it. Pretty soon, all the nations were swarming into Egypt to get food because they were the only ones prepared, thanks to Joseph. His brothers came, and you know what? He got sweet revenge on his brothers, but he didn't pull the trigger because God helped him. And you know what? That reminds me of a verse in the Bible, Romans chapter 8.
I know that one. Verse 28.
How'd you know?
All things work together for good to those that love God and are called according to his purpose.
That's right. So when things seem bad, they're actually
good.
That's right. So and sometimes when things look too good to be true, you know what? They're actually
bad.
That's right, because God knows all what we need. And if we just put our trust in him, no matter how bad it looks, it's going to turn out
good.
That's right. That's right. And you know what, Brother Larry?
You know that story of Joseph you told me?
Yep.
You know what? That's one of the best stories I've ever heard.
No. That ain't good.
It's good.
No.
It ain't good?
No.
It's good.
It's wonderful. That's right.
You got me.
Hey, thanks for the
got me.
haircut, even
Yeah.
though you didn't cut off a whole lot.
Yeah. Well, there weren't much to spare, but it's all right. It's all right.
You ain't funny.
Man, did you see those haircuts they were giving out? I need a haircut. I don't know what's wrong. My hair, way too long. I don't know. I need to give some of my hair to that guy that was getting his haircut. But, okay, anyways, guys. So what we're learning about, like they said in the skit, is we're learning about the story of Joseph and things that happened that seemed like, how can you get out of that? It's horrible, things like that. And God turned it into something good. So I have these two things that I want to show us about. And these are going to represent us. So there's people that live for God and people that don't. And what we're talking about is just when God controls the situation, when you're living for God, anything can happen that's bad, and it happens for a reason, but God knows that reason, and he won't leave you in that situation. God will actually bring out good from that situation. So just like in Romans 8:28, it says, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. So no matter what happens in your life, you know, there's a lot of kids, even being kids, a lot of bad things can happen. It can be what your video game breaks. It could be the littlest things. It can be your parents fighting. There can be situations at school. And you're like, God, why is this bad things happening to me? But you got to see God. If you're living for God, he is going to help you through every situation of that. And just like this whole pandemic thing, there's a lot of people, you know, they close down a lot of things. But the good news is, in my church, as an example, we've had 140 Bible studies and 200 plus new people that have never heard who God is. And they're having that time where they think, you know, the devil thinks that this COVID thing is just going to take over the church and things like that. God is still moving. God is going to turn this bad into good. And just like this, when you're living for God, if you're, you know, whatever bad happens, you know, my game, like I said, you know, your video game broke. So you're like, well, what are we going to do? You know, my life's over. I don't know what's going on. God, nothing is going to get better. But you know what? When you're living for God, it just gets bigger. And you grow in God. And everything that happens, you're like, God, you know what? I've been spending too much time on those video games. I've been spending too much time on things I shouldn't have. But God, I want to spend this time to grow in you. I can pray more, I can read my Bible more, I can do more things in church. So see how nothing, as the bad things happened, it just grew, but you grew in God. And just because bad things happen to good people that are trying to live for God, doesn't mean that it's always going to be like that. And you just keep living for God, he'll make everything great for you guys. But also for the bad people, just the ones that aren't living for God, they'll be like, oh, you know, I have more money, I don't need Jesus, I don't need all this, I don't need God. I'm fine. I'm going to keep going. You know, but when good things keep happening, it gets to their head, and bad things keep happening, and it just becomes too much where they just explode. And I should probably move my phone. But you don't want to let that pride get over, to consume you. If you're living for God and saying, God, I want to use every bad situation and I want to learn from it and I want to come out of this stronger, if you just keep letting God be the center of your life, everything, no matter what bad that's happening, there will always be good from it. And I want to thank you guys, and I want to let the next people come up. I have a mess to clean, so thank you guys.
Woo! Song time again. Now, this song right now that we're going to be singing, it's another one that goes perfectly with the story of Joseph.
Sister Sarah, I didn't get to sing last song. Can I sing this song? Please.
Yes.
Please.
Go,
I can't wait.
Okay, now here's the deal. This one, is kind of the movements are a little bit fast, so
Uh-oh. I'm not really good on songs I've never known before, especially when they have fast actions.
but it's okay. It's okay. You'll do great.
Well, okay. Can I have my friend Greg come in and help me?
Yes.
Brother Greg!
As long as I can have my friend Sister Kim come in and help me.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. So,
Oh, she just pushed my friend Greg. Brother Greg. Okay. We all need a friend.
I don't know.
She obviously didn't see last week's Sunday school. It's okay. No, just kidding, Sister Kim. I'm kidding.
okay, so the song that we're going to sing is called I Am Not Forgotten. So, I am not forgotten.
Forgot? Like you're pulling it out of your head. Okay, got it.
Forgotten.
Okay.
God knows my name.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if I don't know the words?
Just worship. That's the best thing ever.
That's what every song leader and praise singer does. When they don't know the words, they just go, oh, praise God. And that's what you guys need to do. If you don't know the actions, it's okay. Just worship God, because that's why we sing these songs, right?
That's right. Sometimes I think we get so caught up in actions.
I think he's probably off to the side. Here, why don't you go in the middle, and then you go on this side. There. Brother Greg! I'm sorry. We're trying to get this straightened out. Okay.
So, are we ready?
Yes. Worship when you don't know the words, and just watch me not know the words.
And worship even when you do know the words. That's what we sing for, is worship. Worship.
Okay. Worship, everybody!
Wherever you are, He knows your name.
I am not forgotten. I am not forgotten. I am not forgotten. God knows my name. I am not forgotten. I am not forgotten. I am not forgotten. God knows my name. He knows my name. He knows my name. Strength of weakness, joy of sadness. He knows my name. Father to fatherless, friend to friendless, hope for the hopeless. He knows my name. Let's praise Him. I will praise You. I will praise You. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Not forgotten. I am not forgotten. I am not forgotten. God knows my name. I am not forgotten. I am not forgotten. I am not forgotten. God knows my name. He knows my name. He knows my name. I am strength of weakness, joy of sadness. He knows my name. Father to fatherless, friend to friendless, hope for the hopeless. He knows my name. I will praise You. I will praise You. I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
Worship! Woo! Hallelujah! Thank you, Jesus!
Right now, Jesus. God, we
He really does know your name. No matter where you are or who you think you are, He knows you.
I am not forgotten. I am not forgotten. God knows my name. I am not forgotten. I am not forgotten. I am not forgotten. God knows my name. He knows my name. Thank you, Jesus. He knows my name. He knows my name. He knows my name. He knows my name.
Thank you, Jesus. You know my name, Jesus. I'm so
What an
thankful,
incredible
Jesus.
song.
I'm so thankful, Jesus.
And it's so true. No matter what you think about yourself, he knows everything about you.
Yep, and-
Sometimes we think we're forgotten.
Yep, just like Joseph in the prison. He thought he was forgotten.
That's exactly right. Hey, I think we need to learn more about the story of
Yes.
Joseph. All right,
Yes.
guys, we'll see you later. Bye.
Okay.
Hey, Danny, how you doing, my man?
Lee, what's going on?
Oh, I'm so excited. Today's been a great day. Hasn't it
Oh,
been?
yeah. Almost as great as your shirt there.
Hey,
I like
it is.
that.
It's a shirt of many colors. You like this?
I like that. That's cool. That kind of reminds me of the story of Joseph that
The
they've been talking
story,
about.
you know what? Exactly. And you know what? Why don't we do a little recap of what we learned today? Today's been an awesome day. I hope everybody out there has enjoyed our Sunday school. We've learned a little bit. We had some object lessons, sang some worship songs.
Yep.
And now let's kind of do a little summary, a little recap of Joseph's life. How does that sound?
Ah, that sounds good to me.
Well, let's start off. So when we get introduced to Joseph, he's talking about his coat of many colors. Now, so Joseph was the youngest of a lot of kids. He was like the 10th kid, okay? And his dad kind of showed some favoritism. He had this nice, beautiful coat, you know?
Yeah.
And you know what? So one of the lessons we can learn from that is, and I don't know exactly what he did to get his brothers so upset. They were a little jealous and stuff. And but maybe he's like, hey, everybody, look at my new coat, and was kind of bragging about it maybe.
Yeah.
You know? So here's a lesson, you know, if you get something and you're blessed with something, you know, that's awesome, that's wonderful, but just you know, don't make everybody feel bad that you got something. That's a lesson we can learn from that. And if you're one of the brothers like him, you know what we can learn is don't get so jealous. Jealousy is not good, you know, and it led to bad things. Tell me what.
Sure did.
It sure did. What I mean, you know, I've had brothers. And I have brothers, and we got in a lot of fights when I was a kid. I think I instigated a lot of it, you know. But you know what? I didn't have brothers as mean as Joseph's brothers
Yeah,
were.
like throwing them in a
They
pit.
threw him in a pit. They wanted to
they
sell
sold
him into slavery.
Yeah,
and
man.
they wanted to kill him. So
Yeah, that too.
yikes, that's pretty bad. But he ended up getting sold into slavery. But you know what? Joseph had a great attitude no matter where he was. So there he is.
That's right.
He's in Potiphar's house, like we learned about today. Potiphar was blessed. I mean, the guy became wealthy because Joseph just had a good attitude. Here he is, a slave in the house, but he had a good attitude. He kept that. So we can learn that. So no matter what situation you're in, keep a good attitude,
Right,
you know.
'cause God was still.
But then, guess what happened? They lied on him. The Potiphar's wife
Yeah,
told some
yeah.
stories. That was bad. Well, then guess what? They threw him into prison. Terrible, you know. Oh, that was bad. But
That
did
was
Joseph
bad.
just curl up in a corner and just
No, he
made the
he
best
still
of it? Right?
prayed and
And guess what? The prison, it became the cleanest prison probably in the land. And everything the jailkeeper did, everything got prosperous because he had a good attitude. So he was in a bad situation, but he made the best out of it. And guess what happened?
what?
He finally got taken up out of prison. He got, forgotten about, and he probably thought God isn't with him. You know what? God was with him the whole time.
That's right.
He got pulled out of prison. Pharaoh had dreams.
The second man.
Second in command, and was blessed, and all of that worked out for the good. And you know what, guys? Now I want to come to what I think is probably one of the best lessons in this whole story. Okay, so his brothers hated him. There was famine in the land. All right, and but they, you know what? Things started going bad for them, and things started happening when they came back to Joseph. But they did finally feel bad, and they repented. Okay. And they felt bad about it. But you know what the next best thing is Joseph. He could have been bitter and just kind of just said, you know what? I don't care what you, and he could have cast them all into prison. Yeah. He could have done whatever he wanted because he was pretty high.
He was one of the men.
He was powerful.
Yeah.
But you know what? He gave them forgiveness, So that's probably some of the best lessons we can. Repentance and forgiveness. Now, we've come to the best and most important part of this lesson, okay? Now, we're going to ask every one of you out there right now, all right? Be thinking about situations in life and think about the lessons that we can learn from Joseph today, and how can we apply that in life? We're going through some crazy stuff in this world. Anybody heard of COVID?
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
and you can't go to restaurants and things are going bad. But you know what? No matter what the situation is, guys, just make the best out of it. God is watching us. God knows our name. He can take care of us. He's in control of this
That's
whole
right.
situation. And we just got to just remember that God is in control. We need to trust him, and he's going to make the best out of us. So think about what you learned today, and right now, gather around in your family, your living room, wherever you're at, and maybe repent and say, God, I'm sorry for things that I've done. Just like Joseph's brothers, you know, and say, God, forgive me. And God, guess what? Just like Joseph did, God's going to forgive you. And if anybody's done something wrong to you, just say, you know what? Because it doesn't do you any good to hold on to that bitterness. It doesn't help anything. So maybe if someone has done something, say, you know what? I forgive that person. And pray for that person. I guarantee you're going to feel better. So right now, we're going to take this time. We want you to just be thinking about maybe things that you've done and say, God, forgive me for those things. That's repentance. And say, God, just have mercy on me. And I thank you, God, for your goodness and mercy. And he's going to take care of you. He's going to bless you. He's going to bless your family. And we're going to get through this together. And eventually, one of these days, this COVID's going to be over. We're going to be back here in Sunday school. And we're going to be having an awesome time together because God is so good. He knows your name. He knows the trials and troubles you're going through, and he's going to take care of it. He's going to be with you right there if you let him.
That's right.
All right, well, God bless you. We love you, and we're going to see you next week. In Jesus' name. Let's worship together, everybody, as we sing right now. We love you, Jesus. We thank you, God. Oh, hallelujah, God. We thank you for knowing our name. Oh, hallelujah.